What's up, extended family? Happy almost May. We've coming to you today with some great beers that we're going to be releasing on Monday. We've got 6 beers for you today, or excuse me, this month, including our first ever barrel-aged stout that we're selling to go. But I'm going to make you wait till the end to hear about that. So let's start with the first beer. Which I'm really excited about. This year's Leaner, or should I say, last season's Leaner. This is our collab with Side Project out of St. Louis. So this is where we send each other our house yeast cultures, and we ferment and age the base beer with each other's yeast cultures, and then we add it on various amounts of fruit. This one is obviously with peaches. For those of you that might be new or have never heard the story before, a leaner is when a peach is so juicy and so fresh that when you bite into it, you have to lean over because otherwise it'll drip all over your shirt. And so that's what we're going for with this type of beer, with different complexities that are coming from Side Project's house yeast culture, and just massive amounts of organic Colorado peaches in this beer. Peaches in the nose. Definitely a very distinct funk that's different from some of our other peach beers or base beers that we've done before. And even with the big amounts of fruit, I'm really excited that those flavors from Corey's yeast are still coming through. Different type of acidity. Not necessarily more acidic. It's definitely not more acidic than most of our beers, like the normal acidity level of our beers, but a different complexity of acids, different organic acids that are being made by Corey's yeast culture. And so this is a fun one to keep the collection of leaders going. Enjoy a fresh one of these. Super excited about this one. This EF exclusive beer, Funky Blender Preserves with Pears. So last month, or one of the previous months, we released the Funky Blender Pear. This is the preserves version. Super small batch, about a single barrel we pulled off to do the preserves version of. So this is about 3.5, 4 pounds per gallon of fruit, and it's just screams pears in the nose. I'm like candy pear, like pear candy in the nose. I'm so in love with this beer. Fresh, juicy pears. Oh, it's sweet. It tastes sweet. I'm kind of confused about where that sweetness is coming from, honestly. But it tastes sweet. It tastes like a pear candy my grandma used to have. And it's super drinkable, classic Casey acidity, but like my mouth is watering right now. It is so awesome. Such a great flavor, and drinkable. It just screams for another sip. So we're gonna have this on tap this weekend at the EF party if you're coming up here on Saturday. Up next, we've got East Bank Preserves Bourbon Barrel Aged with Glowhaven Peaches. So this beer was aged in Breckenridge bourbon barrels. We took aged East Bank barrels that we were in love with, transferred them to the freshly emptied bourbon barrels, and then after a few months in there, getting the flavor from that barrel, we aged it on the fresh organic peaches. In the nose, a great balance between the bourbon characteristic and the peach notes. You got the East Bank flavor in there, some of that sweetness from the honey and from the Munich malt that we add. Very drinkable, really nice beer. Up next, Team No Fruit. We've got a fresh batch of Ghost Note. So this is our Spelt Farmhouse Ale. So no fruit, just pure beer as is. I always love doing these beers, just so you can see the complexities of the delicacies of the different base beers that sometimes can get lost when you add massive amounts of fruit to them. So like I said, Spelt beer, we use about 30% Spelt in these beers, and it adds a rich, creamy body to the beer, as well as different complexity in the aroma. Something in that Spelt causes our yeast to do something totally unique and exciting. So I love when we get to blend with these and play around with them unfruited. Yep, it's the Casey funk in the nose, but also something else. Something from that Spelt, like I said. Very unique. Sweet tart acidity, Similar acidity, nothing crazy, but sweet tart acidity, super drinkable. Again, mouth watering. These are the types of beers that got me into sours, and so big fan of this one. Stock up if you're a team no fruit. We don't make these too often anymore, unfortunately. Then we've got Ghost Note Raspberry. So the same base beer, but with raspberries from the Pacific Northwest. If you've been, we did a pretty big batch of this in kegs, and so we've been putting some of this around wholesale in the Front Range, around Denver, Fort Collins, even the Springs I think might have got some of this. And so if you've had this on draft before in the last few months, this is the batch that we put in bottles. Just raspberries. Just reminds me of being a kid, picking berries off the bush, enjoying berries off the raspberries that we grow now with my boys. It's just fun. Love these raspberries. I'd be willing to bet most of your first fruited sour beers, whatever style they came from, it's probably raspberries. Maybe cherries, probably raspberries. It's a classic. Clean, full-bodied from the Spelt. Super drinkable, what a treat. And a great price point, I think. Then we've got barrel-aged Wrong Answers Only. I'm not even gonna open it up to pour because I don't wanna waste the bottle. I want to have as many of these to you guys as possible. It's a single barrel. So we just did one barrel that was aged for about 11 months in a Breckenridge bourbon barrel, transferred it into the tank, packaged it up. It's been tested multiple times. We baked it in the back. We put it in front of our heater. So we literally been cooking it back there for a month just to make sure there's nothing in here that's gonna cause some problems. And from all of our due diligence, we've experienced nothing negative. It's all been positive. And so we are confident that we can sell this to you to go and not have it be on site only. We just entered this in the porchdrinking.com's blind non-adjunct barrel-aged stout category, and they had 32 beers that were entered, and this one was one of the top 3 or 4. So we're pretty proud of this. It was kind of scary to get entered among some of the best in Colorado, and we're proud of how it showed. So we're offering this whole batch to you. Hopefully you buy it all, but so if you do, it's going to be exclusive to y'all, and it's going to be in the max out as well as a la carte. Again, it's a single barrel, so it's a very small amount. Hope to see many of you tomorrow at the first 2022 member party, and just want to say thank you. Have a great weekend, and I can't wait to see you maybe later in the summer. So cheers, EF. Thank you.